Pisces, we all have a mission in life. Some of us discover what it is sooner than others, but you have been a fishy on a mission for the longest while now, on a mission to succeed, on a mission to create something that you're proud of, on a mission to aim high, to be the overachiever, to please the key people who need pleasing in order for you to elevate within your career or continue further with this thing that you love. You have been working hard. You have been swimming upstream and you have aimed high. But there is a moment this month where you might look at everything under the lunar eclipse in your 10th house and say, but what has this brought me? What great level of freedom has any of this brought me? Maybe it has brought me some career freedom. Maybe it has brought me some financial freedom. Maybe it has put a good name out there for the things that I'm doing or achieving or creating. Maybe lots of people really like me and I'm popular. But what's the point of doing all of this for people who will never really know me on any great soul level? And there is that real moment here this month, Pisces, where you ask yourself, have I been tipping the balance a little too much in the favor of giving all of my devotion, all of my energy, all of my force and focus to people who are ultimately going to always be strangers? Bosses, clients, people maybe on social media, people within a community, heart, soul and effort going into strangers. And there are rewards when you do that, but the greatest reward is when we know how to balance that and bring some of that passion, strength, force, creativity and energy back to our private temple, to our private cultivation of ourselves, but also to the people that we love. Because I think another thing that you might be suddenly realizing this month is that you might have been favoring people who don't really know you against people who do really know you. And it's time, as I said, to bring that love, affection, attention, and just pure time back to your partners, your family, your lovers, your children, your pets. They shouldn't be second best anymore. And I don't think you intended it to be that way, but I feel that the cosmos is coming in with a real eye-opening moment where you might realize that the people and the things, even yourself, all of those precious things have been put on the back boiler, made second best, in order for you to be the performing little fishy who everybody can admire and therefore you can achieve something. So why is all of this happening, Pisces? Well, let's do what we always do. We're going to shuffle the cards. We're going to wait for all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, we'll talk about this big change and big, powerful, positive changes happening for you, my love. As we're going through a lot of retrograde energy this month, we already have Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter retrograding. Venus does go direct this month. We've Neptune, your ruler, retrograding this month. And dare I say it, we also have the dreaded Mercury retrograding. But the Neptune retrograde plus the fact that we've got two eclipses this month, a lunar eclipse on June 5th and a solar eclipse on June 21st. And this is where we've got some big personal, soul level, psychic level changes happening for you. So let's get to it. Let's shuffle the cards and do as we always do. As I said, we're waiting on these right cards to come out for you, and then we'll talk about the energy. So as the first couple of cards hop out, now this is a Pisces card. This is, I'm so close to having everything I want except happiness. So that's where I'm going with this month, Pisces, a feeling of being the high achiever, having almost everything except the things that really matter. It's like success and achievement have become more important than personal happiness in some ways. And even now, even for some of you, the success for your children has become more important than their happiness. Now, I know that might be a shock for some of you and it may not apply to all of you, but as you're under this kind of must achieve, we must go places, we must fulfill our dreams, we must aim high, we must get out of the shit from the past and we must keep going. Some of you could have been quite tough with the kids. kind of saying, no, come on, you must learn your lessons. We're under quarantine and lockdown. Maybe there's no school at the moment, but you must keep up. You must keep up. Wonderful. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, Pisces, this theme, when the success and they got to keep going and let's keep pushing becomes more important, then can we just relax for a moment and have a bit of happiness while we're doing all this? When it's all lopsided and one-sided towards achieve, success, popularity, make it happen, do it, then happiness is very hard to come by. And it's sad when it's you, very sad when it's you, but even worse when it's also affecting the people within your home, family, particularly children. So that a Pisces card again coming out in a state of chaos. But this state of chaos is going to be changed because there are very good things happening for you this month, Pisces, as you gain control and mastery over this total turnover, this total switch, where you even have to admit yourself. I mean, there's a moment you will admit to yourself where you'll say, I've done enough. I've done enough. You remember the movie Babe about the little pig, and the farmer said, that'll do, pig, that'll do. But there's a feeling of that. Okay, Pisces, you've done it. That'll do. So what now? What now when you stand there and say, actually, it will do. What I've done will do for now. I'm not giving up on my dreams. I'm not going to stop working. I'm not going to stop putting effort and energy into my mission in life, be it raising a family, achieving my goals, my career, pushing ahead with something, making sure that something happens, handling a court case, handling something serious. It's like I'm not giving up on this, but it's not going to consume every fiber in my blood and being, and neither is it going to consume the people that I love. I'm not going to steal energy from them and throw it into a place that doesn't have the love back for me. That's what I feel is changing. It's like that thing is a thing. It's a game. North Node of Destiny and Gemini in the 4th house. Again, understanding. Gemini understands games. It understands patterns. It figures out the details of something and then says, now that I know the rules, now that I have it in my head, I recognize that this is just a game. It's just fun. We're not going to be taking all of this shit so seriously anymore. But what Gemini energy wants to do also, because it's sitting in your 4th house, is to understand the dynamics of your home, of your privacy, of your own creativity, of what's in your own center. It's saying you've neglected this. I just keep feeling this, Pisces, a feeling of you just kept giving yourself away. You kept giving it away. The volume was way too high on giving to other people. And at first it seems you loved it. You loved achieving. You loved giving. You loved pleasing your boss. You loved pleasing the community. You loved it. You loved it. And now it's like, I need a breather. I need a breather. I can't keep doing this if I stop loving it. So now all of my focus has to go on to changing the dynamic here a little bit, where I have to go back and start loving myself. Neptune retrograding in Pisces. Mars also in there for most of the month, saying you've lost your self-esteem because you've been giving it away. You've been handing it out like candy. You know, you've been passing it around like hors d'oeuvres at a dinner party. You've just been handing it all away, giving all your energy away, and keeping nothing for yourself, for the ones you love. So this is a huge change in perspective. And as I was saying, in doing that, you drained your energy, that's for sure. It's like, you know, when you empty the bath and you pull out the plug, it's like the whirl of all your energy being sucked out. And it's time now to realize that, to realize just how much this giving and putting on a show and being a fishy on a mission, how much of that has really been imbalanced. Now, I do think you're going to have a lot of pleasure rediscovering yourself and your passions. Pisces, I feel this with you. Something has become very stale. Like something that you once loved to do. You once loved going out meeting people. You once loved networking for work or networking for something. You once loved creating something. And now it just feels like there's no love in this anymore. It's a thing I must do now. It's a duty. This job that I used to adore doing now, it's a duty. The alarm clock goes off and I must wake up, brush my teeth, go out, do the whole thing. It's a task. It's a responsibility now. It's a duty. And it's soul destroying. And again, Pisces, what I love is the cosmos is right on time, like a perfect piece of machinery, like a cosmic work of art. It's right on time now, saying Pisces, 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 in an effort to shine your light out to everything and everybody, you have forgotten to cultivate your own little ray of light that shines just for you, just for you. No more giving, 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 and start cultivating this light that makes you happy. Create for your own sake. Create something because it makes you happy. Do something because it makes you happy. Do the work you do because it makes you happy. And if it's not making you happy, then change it. And you're saying, very easy to say that in a strange economic climate. Oh, why don't I just change my job? Everybody's losing their job. Why don't I just go and change my job? If you feel that stuck, if you feel you're really pigeonholed so much that there's no room for any change, then that's exactly what you've been doing. You've been the performing little fishy. You've wedged yourself into a corner and now you can't budge. You swam into a kind of aqua cul-de-sac and now you can't get out of it. But now you should get out of it and return to being that Pisces who has pleasure doing the things in life that they do in public. Pleasure speaking to people in public. Pleasure communicating to people out there. Pleasure doing the work that you're doing, speaking to clients, hanging out with groups of people, doing something on social media. Pleasure. Without the pleasure, you're just a fish in a net, trapped, doing the very, very thing that you thought would untrap you. You're more trapped now than you ever were. So this is where the successful moment comes, where that little fishy starts swimming out of the net and realizing that there are much bigger oceans. Limited. I feel that with you, Pisces, a sense of I've done this to myself. I've pigeonholed myself. I've squeezed myself into a box, into a corner, and now I don't know how to get out of it. Well, here comes the Cosmic Rescue Squad, giving you that little way out of it, a new stream to swim to something better. Okay, a few cards just fell on the floor there, Pisces. It doesn't mean anything. Don't panic. I just have to get them. Hold on. People have all these superstitions about cards. Oh, if they fall on the floor. You know, there's no rules about such things like that. I just need one more card. One more card, Pisces. But there's a lot going on. Can you believe it fell on the floor again? And you're saying, wait a minute. You always say watch for signs, symbols and omens, and you're telling us that there's nothing to the fact that cards have fallen to the floor. Well, I'll let you judge that. Yeah, and the last card, it's all about moving forward with a great sense of force. So Pisces, my love, let's kind of swim over to your big grand, ta-da, your overview for this month. So Pisces, you're not paying attention to your dreams, and the cosmos recognizes it and it knows it. You have really swum into a corner. You've swum into a corner and now you're not happy. And yet there's a trade-off. This is what I feel. You've achieved maybe something with your career. So you've achieved, but you're not happy. You didn't get everything you wanted. Maybe you got the status, you got the promotion, you got the elevation, you got the fame, you got some sort of reward. People are noticing something about you. You've got the house, you've got the children, you've got the car. Your status is somehow improved. You're somebody to look up to respect for your knowledge, wisdom, whatever it may be. There's a feeling of, I've arrived. I've actually achieved something here and I'm proud of it. And yet, I've never felt more trapped in my life. never felt more pigeonholed in my life, never felt more like the thing that was supposed to set me free has squeezed me and blocked me. Why? And again, Pisces, you are a very limitless creature. You are Pisces. You were born fully understanding that you are at your best when you are not trapped. You do not belong in a little fish's net. You belong in an open sea or the wide ocean. You belong limitless. And you belong having your wits about you. You know, you're born of the sign of the fish. Fish have to have their wits about them. They have to swim through and avoid predators, avoid sharks, avoid this, that. You know, you have to have your wits about you and you have to use your intelligence in that way. But there's again this feeling, Pisces, of I'm not flexing my intelligence here in any way that pleases me. I'm not flexing my creativity in a way that pleases me. I'm not flexing full stop in a way that pleases me. And I need to return to that because I do feel a sense, Pisces, of you getting very frustrated, the frustration mounting and growing, maybe even at times getting so frustrated that you get angry with the people that you love. And that's the sad thing, Pisces, because again, I think you might be surprised by this, that you will put on a nice, happy face to the people who are draining your energy. But when you come home to the family, to the people, your best friends or whatever, you come home to them and you're giving them the face of frustration. They don't deserve it. You see, this is why it has to be turned the other way around. You know, put on your kind of sharp fish face to the people out there. You know, this is just work. This is just business. This is just something I'm trying to achieve. You don't get 110% of me. It's the people I love and care for. I'm going to pick up that phone and call my friend who I've kind of neglected because it's been all about the work or all about achieving something. If you're in a relationship, I'm going to give a whole lot more focus to my partner because I'm getting angry at them because of the stuff I'm doing out here. It's not their fault. Why am I getting frustrated or down with them? I come home and I'm too tired to be with them. I come home and I'm exhausted and I can't brighten myself up for them. They don't deserve this. And this torments me. I get the feeling, Pisces, when you see it, I think there's a feeling of, you know, when you hold your hands in your head and you say, this is the exact opposite of what I wanted. This is the exact opposite. I wanted always that the people who I love, family, friends, children, all the people that I really care for, I always wanted them to be my safe harbour and for them to feel the same with me. I just always want to have that good vibe with them, and I have been neglecting that. And with the new moon solar eclipse this month happening in the 5th house, it's time to be more creative with them. It's time to have more fun with them. It's time to really sit down and like not just kind of sit with them and the mind is somewhere else, but actually really sit with them. Because that's another thing I feel here, Pisces, a feeling of, well, I've spent a couple of hours with the family. I've spent the day or the afternoon with my friends. You were there in body, but you weren't there. You were, you know, taking part, but all the while you're saying, what time can I go home at? What time, if I start leaving the house now, I'll miss the traffic or something. It was like always something else on your mind. And I think this was definitely something that has bothered people who love you, I think. And I wonder, have they even said it to you already? You know, almost this feeling of them being very tolerant because they love you and saying, Pisces, you know, can you spend more time with us? Can you spend more time with the family? Can you spend more time with the pet? You know, I have a dog now. I know what dog guilt is all about. You know, when they look up at you and you're like, I have to work, I'm sorry. You know, but there's a feeling of all the people around you having that feeling of, when is it our turn? When do we get that? And Pisces, even for your own self, you haven't even been loving yourself in that way. You haven't even been giving yourself time to do the things you love. You haven't been just indulging in the things that make you happy. And this, what's the knock-on effect of that? Completely losing contact with your intuition, completely losing contact with your wisdom, completely losing your strength. And this is why, as I said before, the bath image of pulling out the plug and all the energy just swirling out down the drain. Because you haven't been nurturing yourself and nurturing the connections with the people who know you, who love you, who put arms around you, who don't have to do social distance with you because you're always around each other. This is your family. And I think, Pisces, when you realize that, something shifts, something changes, and you fully begin to understand where the division must be made. And then comes a success. And the reason why I'm given a full level of focus at the beginning here on this one theme is because Pisces, I feel very, very strongly that the cosmos is saying to you, if you realize this and make some great readjustment to giving love back to yourself and the people that you love, and understanding that you're not just some performing little fishy out there, that you don't have to keep up with the Joneses all the time, or that you don't have to keep up with your responsibilities. If you realize that, then actually, and come back home, get really plugged back into your intuition, really plugged back into who you are and doing things your way, but your real way. Not a programmed way, but your way, the Pisces way. When you get back to doing that, a success comes. And I really feel that, Pisces, the success could start maybe as early as June 12th. Say from the 12th onwards, if you master this and manage this, you actually end up achieving the thing that you want to achieve. So it's almost like this, like a fish in a water tank. He just keeps bashing his head against the side of the glass. It's like that's what you've been doing, bashing your head against the side of the fish tank glass. And when you kind of just relax and stop, I must break through this glass, when you stop doing that and just swim and just go around and just float and relax and connect with all the other little fishies, have a little bit of a feed, enjoy the kind of atmosphere. When you're just doing that, a success comes. The universe loves paradox. It loves it. It loves telling you that when you stop aiming for something so hard and relax, you'll actually get the gift of the thing you were looking for. The universe really doesn't seem to like at all when we over-try, when we want to over-succeed, when we want to over-achieve, when we want to over-stress, over-analyze, over-excess, over-please people, over-perform. The universe doesn't like it at all, apparently. It always seems to want us to give it a bit and then pull back. Ebb and flow, remember the symbol of the universe is infinity. It's the symbol of 8. You know the infinity symbol? What does that really mean? Power. But power comes when we give and then when we stop and allow receive. The universe is like, it's one way, like a tide. It flows in and it flows out. You give a bit to me, and then relax and I'll give a bit to you. The universe is generous and balanced. And we are not generous, neither generous nor balanced, when it's just achieve, keep going, keep being that fish who hits its head off the glass, keep going. Universe hates it because you're like, you're not playing with me. You're not playing with me. It's all about you. It's all about you. And you're saying, but I'm trying to achieve, I'm trying to improve my life, I'm trying to match the universe, I'm trying to rise high. And it's like, will you relax? Relax. I see what you're doing. You're giving. Now will you stop for a moment so you can receive? How can I give you a success if you're pushing against me? I don't want it. And even with the same thing, Pisces, if you find yourself giving all the time to people, I'm giving, I'm performing for my boss, I'm performing for this, I'm performing for people on social media, I'm performing. If you're constantly giving, it's the same thing. The universe is just going to say, look at that fool. Any minute now they're going to stop. When they stop, then I step in and give. And there's a very strange thing that happens, which a lot of people eventually, hopefully, come to the understanding of. And that is giving is actually quite a selfish act. What? Giving is a selfish act? Well, it is, because we have to allow giving and receiving. We often feel very good when we give. But if we deny that to another person to give in return, we're saying, no, I'm the only one who gets to have that nice feeling of giving. So it's a very strange, again, paradox. The universe loves paradox. It's a moment where we understand that giving, overachieving is actually a selfish act. If we just stop and let other people give to us, let other people feed us, let other people take some work, let other people maybe get ahead of you for a temporary moment, let other people just relax, let other people just get on with their own business. And if you realize that, then you're better in the flow. You're working real magic if you do that. And magic to achieve, like I said, when you stop giving, the universe has space then to give you what you've been bloody working for. It's like, finally, I've been holding this gift forever. Pisces has been tormenting me. And I just keep saying, will you ever stop? How long do I have to hold this gift before you stop? And when you stop, you get the gift. And then you learn to manage it, Pisces. Then you learn to manage the situation. One of the big things you definitely have to manage now is this thing about home life, family life, because that is in a bit of a state of chaos. As I said, giving in all the wrong way. You might be doing great things for your family. You might be turning up. Nobody can accuse you of not being at the right place at the right time. They can't accuse you of not doing something, but you're not doing it from the right space, it would seem. That sounds harsh, maybe, Pisces, I know. But you know me, I don't come to sugarcoat the shit for you, Pisces. And I certainly not with you. Not with you. I wouldn't do it to you. We're going to tell it as it is, because we all want to make the best of this energy and to know how to have a success of this energy. And you, Pisces, I always believe that you're always wearing your big boy, big girl, little fish pantaloons. So I think you can handle it. So it's a moment where you also have to learn how to handle the way to bring better balance into the home dynamic. And home just doesn't mean family, bricks and mortar. It also means your inner temple. You've been very neglectful of yourself and your own needs. Very, very neglectful. And with Neptune digging deep in there with Mars for most of the month, this month, it's like, get your energy back. Get your self-esteem back. And in some cases, Pisces, get your self-respect back. Because you've been giving so much to other people. And in some cases, Pisces, now I'm sorry if this might hurt a little bit, giving so much to people, hoping that you'll be popular, or hoping that people will like you. If I give everything to them, then they'll like me. Now that's a hole. That's an energetic drain. If you ever feel like that, that means that you're not feeding yourself. You're not topping up yourself enough, that you need other things, external stimulus like people, work, achievements, goals, dreams to fill that missing gap. This is a real opportunity this month, Pisces, for you to start nurturing yourself and managing it. This is Mars. Mars is in Pisces for most of the month, teaching you how to manage yourself better, manage your time better, manage your energy better. Because in this position, Mars is the Emperor. He has won the battle already. Now he's managing the empire. He has all these details to keep in check, keep in balance, manage the army, manage the factories, the farms, the coin, the treasury. He's managing everything, sitting on his throne. saying, I can do this. And the first thing is home and family. But Pisces, again, my sense is, if you manage all of this right and bring the balance back, there is a success coming your way. The paradoxical universe, the paradoxical gift is coming your way, because the less you strive, the more you thrive. You know, the more you let other people in to help you, because this is a very Virgo card. Virgo for you is other people. Like, relax. Let certain things slide in some way if you can. You know, with a bit of sense, with a bit of wisdom. You know, don't let absolute responsibilities slide. You know, don't neglect your children or paying your bills or anything like that. Don't let that slide. But let certain things be more relaxed. And let other people help you. Delegate certain things in your life. Don't let it all be on your shoulders. You're the only one with the responsibility. You're the only one that can make it happen. It must be you. I stand alone here. The buck stops with me. It can only be me who can make this dream happen. It can only be me who does this, who pays all the bills, who takes care of everything in the household. There's a feeling of, Pisces, relax, let other people help you, and reclaim a kind of independence. Look at this guy or girl, we don't know quite, in the garden, just enjoying the fruits of your labour, enjoying the success. And the fruits of the labour comes because you've relaxed and let the universe kind of let things bloom and grow. Success is definitely coming your way. You've got two very strong fire elements here. You've got Aries, you've got Leo. So Aries, Leo, Gemini, Cancer, and maybe fellow Pisces might be strong catalysts of change for you, to make you see how you've been overdoing it, Pisces. Overdoing it and taking all of the good out of what you're doing, because you've been bleeding yourself dry by doing what you're doing. Now, you move on from this though, Pisces, but it's a tough thing to move on from. It's a feeling here of, this is a perspective shift that's difficult. So it's very hard. It's like, I see what you're saying, but I find it very, very hard to make the necessary changes. I find it very hard to stop working as hard as I've been working. I find it very hard to stop pleasing these people. I find it very hard to stop being the one who's generous and giving all the time. I find it very difficult to stop putting on a show, to relax into things a little bit better. I find that very difficult, but I'm a Pisces. I do get what you're saying. So how do I move on from this? Pisces, this is an Aquarius card. Aquarius sits in your 12th house. And these people are going on a voyage, but they're going on a 12th house style voyage. They're going way out into the ocean. And you're saying, isn't that dangerous? I don't think they've got life jackets. Are they going to be okay? But they don't care. They're turning their back on the stale things, the stagnant things, the things that weren't allowed to be flushed out of their lives, so that they've space to travel, space to bloody breathe. You know? I've been stuck, just give me space to breathe. And that's what they need. They need the open sea, and they need to just go out and have some space to breathe. And I think you and the people that you love, or pets that you love, it's like, just go out one day, begin it. Just go out and have the whole day where it's just breathing, just all of you, one of you, a bunch of you, a couple of you, depending on where we are with lockdown and quarantine this month. But give yourselves all time to get back and breathe with each other and relax the hell out of it. And go back out into that open sea and create again. Be limitless again. Take the worries off your mind again. You're not swimming in a kind of a dead-end fishbowl. You're swimming out to the 12th house, which is limitless. Certainly for those of you who create, if your work involves having to really think on your feet, be creative. There's a feeling of, that can also be very, like, it trap you in. There's a feeling of, come on, Pisces, leave it alone. I also feel for some of you having to rethink your working hours. Maybe some of you are switching the hours that you work so that it's not so heavy. Maybe going from working the night shift and saying, look, I need a more steady, structured working life here. I'll work from this time to that. There's a switch. Maybe you work better at night time, being left alone. Or maybe you work better first thing in the morning or the afternoon. There's a feeling of something could happen here, Pisces, where your working hours could shift. And this gives you a bit of room. And for those of you with children, that could really be something quite important here. Maybe shifting your working hours, not just so you are there for the kids, but that you're there for the kids. You're really there for them. You know, not a couple of hours and saying, right, okay, kids, I better start getting ready for work now. It's like, just be there. So there's a change. Your working environment, I think, is the biggest issue here, Pisces. We have a lunar eclipse in the 10th house, and I'm not going to neglect either the fact that for many of you, when we've got a lunar eclipse in the house of career, we could be seeing one big door closing on the way that you're working. It may mean that the work that you do is that you're no longer able to do it, or it's no longer viable at the moment after quarantine and lockdown and everything. So there's a feeling of, you know what, Pisces, just relax for a second. Relax. It's almost like relax is unplug, Pisces. Unplug. And stop, as I said, being the fishbowl, just bashing their head against the glass. And an answer will come. An answer will come through the grace of the cosmos, through the grace of the gods, God, Spirit. It will come. But if you keep forcing an issue with your career, like if you keep saying, instead of letting this career go, I've got to work 10 times harder. It's like, Pisces, please, you've already given enough blood. What are you doing? What are you doing? You need really to unplug for a moment so you can totally reevaluate how you work. So it's not as stressful and as constrictive. And I do believe, Pisces, that there's an opportunity for you to move on and do something new within your career, within your working hours, within your whole work life, home life balance. You know, some of you might say, you know, when I put on my coat and leave work, or if you're working from home, or if you haven't been working, you know, there's a feeling of, I'm not letting this come home with me. The stress that I've got going on with work, that finishes when I finish work. When I walk in through that door, or when I log out of my computer, that's it. That's the end of it. I stop work and I start thinking of going home. And I'm giving more freedom to that. And this is where I get my luck and good fortune. Pisces, I really see it from June 12th, maybe even on June 19th, June 21st. I'll go through all of those dates maybe in the deep read on VIMEO. But I see success coming your way because you're swimming in the opposite direction and putting more force into taking your beautiful Piscean head away from banging on that glass. As I said earlier, the universe will not respect you anymore any more than you think, because you're just, I must achieve. Look at me, universe, look how hard I'm trying. The universe is like, well, away you go. Just tell me when you're finished. I'll be here waiting to give you your gift. You know, the universe doesn't have any great sense of value on this overachievement mode. It's like, what are you doing to yourself? You're not in the flow with me. Why should I play with you if you're not willing to play with me? You know? So, Pisces, it's a big change. And I want you to enjoy this change. And I want you to really get back into building up your energy. And by taking that journey into that limitless intuition, creativity, plugging out so you can plug back in. You know? Plug out so you can plug back in. Reboot the system and start over, Pisces. But this time, never again neglecting, nourishing, nurturing and feeding the fun, joy, creativity in your personal self, and also with the people who actually do love you and know you. All those people out there, they don't know you. They don't know you and they don't love you in the way that your true tribe do. And not because they don't love you, it's they don't know you. So why burn yourself out on pleasing them? The focus now goes back on the people and the pets and the joys and the hobbies and the pastimes and the creativity and you, the one that you must love first and foremost. Let it all start flowing back like the tide to you. And when that tide starts flowing back, the universe has gifts on that tide. And it'll be like, now I get it, now I get it. I'm hauling in the net of the success that I have worked so hard for, and now realize in some way that I can kind of come off the hamster wheel and stop trying to break myself in the process. I understand the flow, and I'm ready to accept the abundance and the gifts that come as the tide starts turning. So my love, I'm going to leave it at that. These, of course, are just the general energies, my love. You know where to come by now, where we go into an extended version of this reading, the deep read on Vimeo. We'll keep the energy going, but we'll get more specific and more focused on the different themes and topics in your life. We'll get very focused on your relationships. For those of you in a relationship, the singles, is there love with a new moon in the 5th house of attraction, obsession, passion, play, and seduction? Perhaps there is. We're going to focus on your career. I do feel some changes happening there. Money also. Home, big changes there. Family, friends. Everything that we didn't really open up here. We'll do that in the extended version on the deep read on Vimeo. How do you get to it? Well, down there below in the description box, there's a link, my love. Click into it. Come on over. Join me over on Vimeo, and we'll go further with this reading. But if we're going to leave it at that, my love, for this month, then I will leave you as always with all my love and a great, great, great big kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my beauty. Bye.